Okay. Even the sun goes down. Heroes eventually die. Horoscopes often lie, and sometimes why. Nothing is for show, nothing is for certain. Nothing lasts forever, but until they close the curtain. It's him and I, a Quimini.
All right, guys. It's about a week later. Back over here at this fence. So what I did is I basically had to get a measurement between this pole and this pole, but the original pole was right here, and I could not get that post out, so it was no way of me even trying and stuff like that unless I have a dig everything out around this post and then come back and do it. Now I had to do each of the posts that was damaged, which was a total of 4. Total of 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it was a total of 4 that was damaged. So instead of did that, I just offset the spacing of the 4x4s. So instead of this being 8 feet, it's a little bit longer, so it's closer to 9. And I had to do the same thing down here. One of these posts is going to be either shorter and the other one is going to be longer. So I believe that this one is going to be a little bit shorter than 8 feet. And the one in between is going to be a little bit longer. So only thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the last couple of posts and I'm going to put them up and get this last post in. I had to go get another post because I only had 3 posts because somebody else was going to do this job and they did not do it. So now I'm over here trying to make do of what I have and everything. So some things that's right that I'm doing when you're putting up a fence is from the top of the fence, to this post is 6 inches. If you do that, you don't have to worry about the top of the fence curving over as much as you would if you put more than 6 inches. So that's pretty much 6 inches all the way down. And did the same thing in the bottom. It's 6 inches from the bottom. The bottom of the 2x4 to the ground is 6 inches. So I did that to make sure that it won't curve at the bottom and stuff like that. This customer has a lot of gardens and stuff that leans against the fence, so that was one reason that the fence got damaged and stuff like that, because the pressure from all the dirt and washing toward the fence, because this yard is not really graded that well, so everything washes toward the fence. As you can see down here, that all the mud and stuff washed down here. You see that is a good 6 inches above where it should be. And if we walk around the back, you can see it's not even touching the ground. You see the spacing and stuff because of all this rainwater that's washing everything toward this side of the yard. So unless you get the yard graded correctly or put some type of, well, she got a little opening back there. If she has a way to, well, in order to stop that, she needs to get this opening over here in the back of the yard open up a little bit more so it'll relieve some of this pressure of this mud. And she need to get some grass or something over here in this area so that way it won't keep washing everything down this way and messing up the fence. So I probably repaired this fence 4 years ago to what she wanted. It wasn't the best repair, but she wanted to do this way because it was cheaper. And the only thing I did was put some braces on here, and that's not the correct way to do it. Don't be cheap and go ahead and repair the fence the right way by putting new posts in. Because up here we didn't have no choice. As you can see, if you look down there, that's pretty straight. Like I said, we got to do this last post right here. So as soon as we do that, that will get this line correct and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm pretty much trying to get this post right here trying to get this post right here, up to this string line right here. I'm pretty sure that is a little bit higher than 6 feet. The rest of this fence is pretty much at 6 feet, but when it gets right here, this is a little bit more than 6 feet from the ground. So that's the reason I probably got to pull this up a little bit more than 6 feet. I'm gonna take a measurement and kind of see what is done. But after that, I'm gonna attach the post to keep everything moving. And like I said, this is not a video showing you how to do this, is because, like I said, the stuff that I'm doing is not really the way that you do fence. If you want to see somebody put a fence up or put a fence up correctly, I'll probably put the link to this guy's channel in the bottom description, because I looked up everything before I came out here and did this. But at the same time, I got to do exactly what the customer want to do, which they are trying to save every penny they possibly can. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and set this post right here. After I set this post, I'm gonna go ahead and put the 2x4s to connect each post, and then we're gonna go to our next step. All right, guys, I guess I can show you this, because this is pretty much right. I'm gonna hang this 2x4 right here in this area. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a screw underneath here, right here. So that way it'll hold the 2x4 up while I go on that side and get the 2x4 lined up. So let's see if I can do this. I ain't bring no, I didn't bring it in a tripod, so I'm just gonna wing it and ding it. There we go. So I'm gonna rest my 2x4 right there while I come on this side and drill a hole. I'm gonna mark it from the top. I'm gonna mark 6 inches down, so that way I can get it, and then I want to make sure that it's centered. So that's all I need to do. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and we're gonna go to our next step. All right, guys, we're back over here to finish the fence. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a jig. So just bear with me. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna build a jig. That way you can do this just in case you want to put your fence post up. All right, so this is what I did. I got this little piece on there. It's not too tight, but I got the 6-inch 2x4 because that's how tall I want my pickets to go. And I just got these two right here on some scrap pieces just on the side. It doesn't have to be a length, but just a little bit longer than the 2x4 so it can balance itself on here real good. On this side, I don't have anything. If you notice, the reason being is because the first picket that I put up is going to be at 6 inches, and that's going to be the one I start with. So I'm gonna go ahead over here and I'm gonna try to find a good picket to start with, and we're just gonna go from right to left down the fence to try to get everything in order to make it look good. So we'll see. But before we do that, I got one more thing to show you. Okay, this is the first thing we're gonna do. We're gonna take a square and we're gonna put it against the wood, and we're gonna cut off the bad piece of this picket since we're reusing the picket. So do this, and so that's a little bit better than what we had. You see right here, this is rotting out. We're gonna cut that off. We still got some rotting right there, so let's get that cut off. There we go, that's a little better. So we're gonna try to save as many pickets as we possibly can. But like I said, I got something else I gotta show you. All right guys, just like I said, I got something to show you. This is my new nail gun by Ryobi. Basically this is a brushless nail gun that I got from Home Depot. It was roughly around $300 and stuff like that. And this one is a 21. The reason I went with a 21 is because the nails that you get with the 21 comes in plastic coating. So if the nails or something get wet, you don't have to worry about the nails tearing off the little strip that it comes with. If you go with a 30 degree nail gun, what would happen, those nails, you get a lot more nails on the gun, but the nails are held together with paper. So if it gets wet, that means you're not able to use those nails anymore, because like I said, you don't have nothing to keep it attached. So that's the reason I went this way, because the 21s come with plastic coating around it, and that's basically it. So we're just going to go ahead and open this up. And I noticed that this box was already open, so I'm gonna look at it real quick. See, I didn't do that, it was taped up. So let's look to see what's going on in here. Okay, everything looks in the order. Okay, it doesn't look like it's been used or anything. Nope, everything looks good. And like I said, this is a 21. You load your nails in right here, and you pull this back, and then it snaps and hold your nails in place. We get this out the way. So it's real good to use. You have this little trigger right here, and you have a safety trigger that's on here also. So in order to squeeze make the nail come out, you have to squeeze two triggers. So you have one right here that you'll hold in your hand, and then you have the second one that you'll squeeze right there, and that will go ahead and set the nail off. You can set it to 2 speeds, where you can set it where it can only shoot one nail at a time, or you can set it where it can shoot multiple nails back to back with just one squeeze of the trigger. And that little switch is right here. I don't know if you can see that, but the switch is right here. So switch one way, other way. And it doesn't have any indicator or nothing on it, but my battery should work with this gun and stuff like that. So let me get my battery. All right, I have my battery now. For like maybe, I think like $20 more, $30 more, you can get this setup with a battery and a charger, just in case you don't have no Ryobi 2s and stuff like that. And also, this battery is not the high output battery. The high output battery by Ryobi is gray, and this is the black one. I just noticed that. So if I would have got the kit, I would have got a gray battery, which would be a high output, which means it's better performance for some reason. All right, we're gonna put this in, and we're loaded. And you see they got the green light, so we are ready to go. So right now you don't have anything until I put the nails in. It won't do any, it won't shoot anything because, like I said, it's nothing there. But we can give this a try real quick. Now, if you notice, I don't have any nails in it, but like I said, let's try it. Nothing. All right, so we're good to go with that. And this has a little weight to it. It feels like it's about 15 to 20 pounds. So remember, you're gonna be carrying 15, 20 pounds around your hand all day. But I think with the ones that you hook up to the air compressor, does it pretty much weighs around the same thing. So let's go ahead and put some nails in, and we're gonna get started. Okay, now to put the nails in, you want to make, if you look at it, you have these slant at an angle, so you want that angle coming back toward you. So when you put the nails in, you're putting them in correctly. If you put them in wrong, the gun will shoot the nails out wrong. So you push them all the way up, and then you pull back on the trigger. So you have a release lever right here. So what you need to do is just hold this lever, and that'll push it forward. But if you hold it and when you pull it back, make sure you take your finger off of it before you go into the nails. Now you're set. All right, so let's go ahead and get our first board up and to see what it's gonna, how long it's gonna take us to get this stuff done. All right guys, this is gonna be the most important board. What I did with this board is I marked it off 6 inches from the top. So what I wanna do, I wanna have the 6 inches line up with the top of my 2x4. That way I have my height for my fence, because what happens is I have 6 inches on this side, and with the little jig that I made, it's 6 inches on that side. So now what I'm gonna do is take the first board, nail it in here. I'm just gonna nail the top after I get it at 6 inches, and then I'm gonna check for level. All right, that's in. It's right at 6 inches. All right, as you can see, if you can look right here, that's the nails. It's a little bit too deep, so we're gonna loosen that up. But since I have the board at 6 inches, we should be good to go all the way down now. I'm gonna take each of my board, I'm gonna push it all the way up to the 2x4. Okay, as it gets up to the 2x4, that means that it's gonna be 6 inches and the fence is gonna look level all the way down. All right, so let me grab another board, and then we're gonna get that hammered. Now, one thing I noticed with this, if you have this by your ear, it is loud, so I recommend that you have ear muffs. I don't have ear muffs, but this is the first time me using this machine, so I didn't know what to expect. But now I know. Only thing we're gonna do now, we're gonna go ahead and grab another couple of boards, and then we're gonna nail those up. All right, I think this is a little bit more light. So I'm gonna take this battery out because I don't see an on-off switch on here. But what you can do, you can adjust how deep the nails go by this little knob right here. You can turn it clockwise or counterclockwise. When it goes, when you turn it, let's see. Counterclockwise will pull it up. Okay, clockwise, if you push it clockwise, it will make the this little tip go down. So by screwing this down clockwise, it will make the nails go into the wood not as deep. So that's where you don't want. You want them flush as possible to the wood. So right now, let me go ahead and grab another couple boards, and then we're gonna finish coming down the row. All right, guys, I got 4 or 5 boards ready. I took the nails and everything out. So the only thing I'm gonna do now is put this board next to the one I just put up first, and I'm gonna hit it at the top. That's perfect. I adjusted the little knob, and it's not going in as deep. That looks good. Now, what would happen if the boards or something are not level as you get farther down? What you can do, since I'm just only doing the top, you should be able to just scoot. You should be able to either push it this way or either push it this way to get it straight. Well, you should be able to push it toward that way or either back this way toward me to get it level. And the reason being is because, like I said, the bottom is not tied in. So since it's not tied in, you don't have to worry about that. And like I said, this piece of wood right here, that's my stopper, so I know it's 6 inches at the top. Okay, I don't like that board. Like I said, I got a lot of boards that I had to cut stuff off, so I'm trying to figure out which is going to be the best boards to use. No, not that one. So hopefully I have a low spot that I can use those on. But truthfully, I shouldn't have. Okay, this was a good one. But truthfully, I shouldn't have to do this if I would have had new wood. All right, that's 2. And let's see, we got this last one. It's not the prettiest thing, but let's look. And nope. All right, we're gonna try to find some more wood that's a little bit lower than this. And what I don't have that's not gonna work, I'm gonna replace it with new boards. That's the way this customer is gonna save money. And like I said, this is my first time using this thing, so I'm taking the battery out all the time so I won't hit myself. Because you gotta imagine, if you can put a nail in wood, what would happen if you put it in your arm or your leg or something like that. So be careful with this thing. All right, I got about four boards. I think that this section may need the 4 boards. The reason I'm saying that is because I did put the fence up. That's too long, so that's not gonna work. So it's a hill or something right here. So I'm gonna find a board that I have to trim off just a little bit so I can put it in this area right here. Probably like about 2 or 3 boards. But I know after I get past there, I will have boards for me to finish. I have about 2 more boards that we can use on the fence. Like I said, I just trimmed the bottom of it so it can work in this area because it's a hill or something right here. But we're gonna nail it in and see what happens. That one's still too long. How about this one? Yeah, this one will work. All right. So let's try this one now. Oh, it's a little bit too long. But you get the picture. We're gonna go ahead and try to find different boards and stuff to put across this, and we're just gonna knock this out. All right, guys, we're back. This is another day. We had a lot of rain this week and in the past couple of weeks, so that's the only reason I've been breaking up this little thing. But I did do some stuff off camera. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I've done so far. That way you can see exactly what's going on with this project, and I'm gonna try to finish the last little bit on cam. I did go to Home Depot. I did get some more wood. As you can see right here, this is probably 32 pickets that I had to get. Not 32, about 38 pickets I had to get to finish this job. So let's go ahead and look to see what I've done so far. Now, as you can see, I started right here. That's the old fence. Just like I say, you see it's still wet and that's damaged right here. And this is all the new. This is not even, like I said, this is not a 2x4, so that's probably the reason it's warping the way it is doing. And And I want to say that I did repair this fence about 4 or 5 years ago and stuff like that. And they just wanted me to take the fence down that had, well, take the pickets down that was bad and stuff like that, and redid it. The pickets is kind of holding up, but the wood with the sun and the cold and everything, it kind of deteriorated. That's just some wood right there that's sitting there. Now, this is some new wood. As you can see, it's going down and it's pretty straight. I'm going with the floor of the yard and stuff, so the yard is going to basically be sloping down. And like I said, when I calculated, it was about 37, 38 pickets that's going to go right here. So we're just going to finish this part up right here, and I'm gonna do a little bit of improvement with my jig. I have my jig right over here. The only thing that I found difficult with this jig is that this side right here needs a piece of wood on it. That way the wood won't fall over, because it fell on me once when I was using the nail gun, and I caught it before it hit me in the head, so that worked out good. But we're gonna go ahead and get everything unloaded. I'm gonna put everything on the opposite side of the fence, because that's the side I'm putting everything on, and I'm gonna set y'all up somewhere on that side too, so that way you can see me get it up and everything. Nothing to explain. I'm just putting 2 nails in each board at the top, 2 in the middle, and 2 at the bottom. So that's pretty much what I have going here. All right, guys, so coming in today, let's check the level. It's leaning that way a little bit, so we're going to try to offset it right here. So what we're going to do, I need to fix that jig and put my jig up real quick, so give me 1 second. All right, everybody, I'm ready to start back. I got my jig in place, got my nails in the nail gun. When I check level, I'm gonna check level right here. I believe I'm off a little bit. Yes, I'm off a little bit, so we're gonna have to kick the bottom out a little bit to kind of help us straighten up. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get level there. There we go. And we're gonna try to level this out. I'm right here by a pole, so pulling it out a little bit should help a little bit. Yeah, it's just about level. I don't want too big a gap. There we go. Check level again. Just about spot on. Let's see if we can get it completely level now. Again, I'm gonna push it up to the jig right here at the top, and I'm gonna just hit it with 1 nail. And check level. All right, that's level. Yep, that's level. All right, so we're gonna keep going down to make sure that we are hitting it. A lot of people say it's better when you doing this on your own to just really do it every 3 or 4 boards. You go back and check level, make sure you're still level. Another thing, you can offset nails by just hitting one at the top in the corner and then one in the bottom at an opposite corner. So just like go at an angle when you put your nails at the top. It gives you a little bit more strength at the top. That way the board won't kick out on the top if something hits it. All right, check level again. Yeah, I'm pretty good with here. The older boards that I used, none of those was straight. They was warped and everything. So checking level was probably going to be, you know, a waste of time. But we're going to try to keep this one level as much as possible. All right, so that is good. And as you see, I put a new piece right here on my jig, so that way it won't fall off. So only thing we're gonna do now, we're just gonna go straight down the row, make sure that this stays straight. Like I said, I'm going with the angle of the yard, the slope of the yard. I'm not stair-stepping or anything like that. I'm just gonna go with the, I'm not stair-stepping or anything, so that's the way we can just keep everything look uniform. All right, we're gonna keep going and get this job knocked out. Okay, we're just about done, and I've probably been here putting this fence up for probably like maybe 10 minutes on this little section, maybe a little bit shorter. Gonna slide this down. Like I say, this is my jig. And this is just basically keeping me 6 inches above the 2x4 right here. So that's where I want my top to be. I'm not worried about the bottom because I talked to the customer. They don't care about the gap. They're gonna find something to put down at the bottom of the gap. So if you have a gap at the bottom of your fence and you want to keep it level, you probably just need to go with longer pickets. You can get these in 6 feet, which this what this is, or you can get it at 8 feet. So just in case you have a funny slope, you can go with a combination of 6 feet and 8 foot pickets. But the 8 foot pickets, you probably have to cut them down, and they're going to cost you a couple more dollars. Your choice. So we're going to continue going down, and I already checked to make sure that I was square. Well, make sure that I'm plumb. I am level and plumb. So what I want to do now, I'm going to show you how this gun works. So I'm putting it, I have in all the nails and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put one board up against this board I just got put up, and I'm putting the board against the 2x4 that I have at the top. Then I put 2 screws in it at an angle, and I'm gonna go to the next board. Same thing against the top. Against the top. All right. Against the top. Against the top. All right. So Now I got what? Let's see. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boards. I can come back and check level. I am still level. So if I need to, let's say if I need to kick, it's not level, and I need to move the pickets this way. What I would do, I kick the bottom out a little bit, back away that way, and that would kick the boards out. Going back in, you'll probably just need to offset the top of the next board going that way, away from the boards, instead of putting it flush against it. I'm pretty level here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get everything nailed in. So this gun has 2 modes. Mode 1 is basically a single shot out of the nail gun. So we'll put the gun down on the board and we press. Now I'm still holding the trigger. Now if I go to the next board, it won't do anything. So the second mode is rapid mode. So what I got it now in is rapid mode. So the way this works is, as soon as I pull the trigger and lay the first one down, I can go straight down this row. We're gonna stop here. I'm gonna make sure I stop in the right spot. We're gonna go straight down this row, putting nails in. So I'm gonna press and then hit the first board, and then just continue down the next board with 2 screws, excuse me, with 2 nails in each one. So here we go. And there we go. All right, that's that row. So let's do the bottom row now. Just keep in mind, try to keep the eye level with the 2x4 behind it. You don't want to miss it. And I'm straight on, so that's good. All right, so the bottom row, same thing. I'm just gonna go back this way with it. I'm gonna turn my gun sideways and keep my body clear from it. And here we go. There we go. And that's how you put the pickets up. All right, let's go ahead and get these last few pickets up, and we'll be done with this job, and we'll go ahead and look at the final results. All right, guys, my jig is not going to work in this little section right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to eyeball this to keep it in line. I'll probably just do one at a time and then take measurements to make sure I'm 6 inches. That's 6 inches right there, but I can mark my wood, each wood piece right here, to make sure it's 6 inches, and then continue to put the boards up. Okay, I'm pretty level. So now what I need to do, I need to rip something to go in between this. So we're gonna try to find a piece of wood, old wood, to cut in this little area. That way we won't be wasting no new wood and stuff like that. And then when we fix this piece, then we'll put a new board right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this part out right here. It's level. So first thing I want to do, let's see, what's my last board? It's right here. So I'm not going to go past there. All right, here we go. That's the top. Well, that's the middle. You go to the bottom. I need nails, and like I said, when you put the nails in, make sure that the bottom is going away from you and the top is going toward you, so that way you won't be putting the nails in backwards. I heard when you do put the nails in backwards, the nails will shoot backwards, so you don't want that. All right, last boards. There we are. All right, so I'm gonna rip this down right here. I'm gonna find an old piece of wood. I'm gonna cut this piece out, and then we'll be finished with the fence and stuff. So I'm not gonna show you me measuring this or anything. It's off a little bit. Like toward the top is roughly 2 inches or 2.5 inches, and at the bottom it's 3 1/4. So I'm gonna find a piece of old picket fence, and then we're gonna put that one up. All right, guys, I got the piece cut out. As you can see, it fits. And don't think that I got this on the first try. It took me about 3 tries to get it to fit exactly how I want it, but it's close enough. And I'm just gonna line it up with the bottom. And the 2x4 is a little different right here. So one there, one there, and one there. All right, so the fence is complete. And like I said, this little piece that I add, we'll fix that when this part right here gets replaced. I talked to the customer. They were saying probably next year they want to replace more of the fence. As you can see, the fence right here is basically been held up because the 2x4s, well, the 4x4s are rotting out at the bottom, so they need replacing. And same thing down here. The boards are pretty new. They're about 4 years old, so hopefully we can use majority of the boards and stuff like that. But I'm not too sure how much of the fence she's wanted replacing. But we'll find out. But let's go back and look at the fence and see what I repaired and the final product. All right, guys, here's the finished product. Let's look at it from the beginning, and let's look down the top of the fence. I believe that's pleasing to the eye. Let's come out and look again. And as you can see, these are old board that I recycled. I basically just make sure that they were straight and just try to find the best boards and stuff like that that I could. I had to replace probably like 30. I bought 38 boards. I've replaced 34. Probably there's a couple more that could be replaced and stuff like that, but we'll get that for another time. As you see, I had a gap at the bottom. I'm not worried about the gap. She's gonna put a flower bed right here, so she's gonna put these little borders back up and stuff like that. So I'm gonna leave these out so she can make a determination that if she wants to put the bricks back up again. My recommendation is she leaves an opening like that. At least this opening right here will allow any kind of runoff and go down and out the side instead of build up right here like this. So this is going to rot in the wood out eventually and stuff like that. So she's going to have to get her lawn guy to get the shovel or something and dig this up so it can get underneath the fence. But I'm thinking what's going to probably happen is going to be the same thing, that it's going to start building up right here. What they probably can do is take this mud right here and just throw it on this side to build this side of the fence up to make it even, and probably put a couple of bricks right here on the side. That way it can hold the runoff and stuff, and everything won't wash away. That's what I can think that could happen, but it may not happen. But let's look at the fence some more. As you can see, let's step back and look at it. That's pretty, that looks pretty good. That's pleasing to the eye. I think that's a win. And notice where I stopped right here at the bottom with the new wood. This is old and it's a little bit different. So when if we come back and replace this part right here, what's going to happen is we're going to probably have to go down, because this is a little bit above 6 inches and stuff like that. So what we probably end up doing is reposition this last piece right here. Well, we're going to put new 2x4s right here, and then basically we'll come down and try to match that the best way we can. But if we have to lower the next 4x4, which is here, if we have to lower this one, what we'll do is lower to the proper height along with this one, then that should even the fence out and stuff. So we're not going to look at that because, like I said, it's not the part that I repaired. This is the stuff I repaired. And just in case you're wondering, this is pine and not cedar. They were trying to save money so if you want to save money on picket fences, well, if you want to save money on your fence, you use pine instead of cedar. I think the cedar is probably $1 more per board. So you can leave a comment how much you think the stuff costs, like that. And that's basically it. We're gonna probably come back later to check this out to make sure if we're gonna do the staining for this fence. But I think she's gonna do a color change at the same time. If it's gonna be repairs and stuff that she wants to get done, she probably is not gonna want to stain the fence right this moment. She probably want to get this stain maybe transparent, or try to match the color that's on the fence. I think the color that's on the other part of the fence is let's see, if I can remember. I know it's ready seal, but I think it might be natural brown or something like that, or either redwood. I can't remember. It's been about 5 years since I did this stained this fence. Like I said, I don't think it looks bad. I think I probably could have did a little better job and stuff like that, but I didn't know what I was getting myself into. As far as, I just thought I was doing a simple repair, but I didn't know that it was going to lead into, hey, we want to probably do the rest of the fence and stuff. She said this fence was installed in like 2008, so that tells you how long it's been up and stuff like that. And I guess it's holding up pretty good and stuff, but it does have its thing behind the part over there. It's falling apart too, so that part over there needs to be replaced definitely. I think this part over here is holding up pretty good. So I'm not too sure what she wants to do with that. She may not even touch that side over there and stuff like that. If I was her, I won't really put too much money into the fence. All right, so the next project I got to do over here, I got to look at this deck. It's got some wood rot in it and stuff like that. So we're gonna take a look at that. She needs to. I just pressure washed this area right here. It hasn't been, I don't think it's been, has it been a year? It might have been a year by now. It needs to be washed again and stuff. But if you want to see this video of me washing this little area right here, you should see the video for this concrete wash. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because the mosquitoes over here are real bad and stuff like that. I've been bit like 3 or 4 times by something else besides mosquitoes, but sometimes it comes with the territory. Don't forget to hit that share button with people that might need to see this video, just in case they may want to repair their fence or something like that. It's not hard, but you just got to have the proper tools. And I think the only tool that I went out and bought was that nail gun. That nail gun changed the game, because without that nail gun, I think I would probably be still here putting up boards. With the nail gun, I think it took me probably like 45 minutes to put about 40 boards up and stuff like that, to make sure that it's even, level, and all like that. But also I had that jig. That jig helps out a lot too. Okay, the Equipmentites, that's going to do it for this video. I hope that you found it entertaining. If not, I hope that you learned something from it. If you didn't, go back and look at the video because you skipped over the good parts. Once again, if you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing to the channel and supporting me. And if you're new here, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you know when my next video comes out. And before you leave, make sure that you hit the like button because that helps the channel out. This is Marcos from Equipmentite Pressure Washing, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
It's him and I, Equipmentite.